Yeah, everyone leveled up last session. Yeah.
Woo,
yeah.
Hell yeah. Good job, everyone.
Okay, so I think I'll start by talking about some of the level up
we'll
stuff.
go around the table and everyone can say what all the cool shit they got from leveling up.
So yeah, we hit level 2, big. I mean, it's kind of not that large, but you know, it is what it is. We are also playing with the free archetype rule, which means that we all get to pick a dedication at second level. You get to get a few extra feats beyond what you normally get when you level up. So just to cover what I kind of got, I got a class feat called Esoteric Warden that basically makes me a little bit tankier when I do exploit vulnerability on somebody. I got Lie to Me, which just makes me use deception to tell if somebody's lying, the skill feat. And then for my archetype, I got the Overwatch dedication, which basically it does what my lantern does, but better, and I get to stack the bonuses because they're different kinds of bonuses. So basically, if anybody's standing in my lantern light and within 30 feet of me, they get +3 to perception. So it's pretty solid. We will see traps before they come. That's the goal. I don't know who wants to take the next step.
I have a question about your lantern first.
Yeah.
So it gives you that big perception jump. Are you just going to be in people's houses with the lantern lit, looking around for clues?
The lantern stays on.
The lantern doesn't turn on. It's always on.
The lantern stays on during sex.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, I have to know if she's ethereal.
I need a +1.
All right, I will take it from there then. So for myself, my class feat that I got second level was Domain Ecumen. So essentially what that did was give me another revelation spell and increase my focus points in my focus pool by 1. Essentially, that's just I got to take from my mystery, which is Oracle of Bones. The 2 domains are death and undeath. So now I just have one of the spells from each of those, which is kind of cool. Gives me a few more options. And then the dedication that I chose or I went with is the medic dedication. So essentially what that is it makes me an expert in medicine. So hopefully I actually can, help someone this time around. And then also I got to take the battle medicine feat. And so essentially with the medic dedication, I can use battle medicine, which is essentially treat wounds in combat. And I can use that on someone twice. So I get to ignore someone's temporary immunity to the battle medicine condition, not treat wounds, so I still can't do a double treat wounds, but I at least can be a little bit more useful with keeping us alive in battle. Yeah, that's kind of the main things. I switched some spells around, but we don't need to get into that just yet. So yeah, who wants to go next?
I'll go next. So Adam was very generous and let me retrain my methodology because I wasn't a big fan of my methodology that I had for my investigator. So I have now gone into alchemical sciences. So 4 times a day, I can quickly whip up a alchemical tincture, which will help a lot as I'm the only non-undead in the party. Healing me is very difficult in a land where positive energy and vitality is not allowed. Also makes it difficult to keep me alive. So I have come up with little potions to keep me going. I have also, at second level, taken Shared Stratagem as a class feat. So if I devise a stratagem and I hit, I can designate one of my allies to give them a better chance to hit, which is really good for our spellcasters who are making ranged attacks and can't flank.
Hell yeah.
So look out for that, Nico and Ryan. For your needle darts, you'll be a little more accurate. I also took Assurance as a skill feat for athletics because how I envision Iggsy is he's well built, so he's not insanely strong at some points, but he's consistent. So if he needs to climb a ladder, climb a wall or something like that, he's consistent with stuff like that. And that is pretty much everything I have going for me.
Thank you for calling me generous.
No problem. That's the only time you'll get it.
Hey, when are we getting hero points next?
Ryan, if you want to go ahead and talk about what you got.
Ride on this.
Yeah.
Ryan, just go ahead and talk about what you got.
Finish this off here. So for my level 2, I picked up a couple other War Priest feats, like War Priest armor, which allows me to train in heavy armor. Works well with my unburdened iron feat, so I don't take the speed penalty to it, and as well as my archetype feat, which is Soul Forager dedication. Essentially, thematically, my deity Nimbleoth has bound a set of plate armor to my soul, which allows me to manifest it as a single action.
Oh, that's dope.
So saves time. I don't have to sleep in it. I won't have to take that penalty if we're out camping or something. And if we do get woken up, I just one action, boop, pops out, and gives me an essence power once per day. The one I took is called Harmful Malice. It allows me an extra casting of harm, as well as for 1 minute adds an additional 1d4 void damage to my attacks. And then I I swapped out for a deity spell, which I didn't realize I couldn't see it on Foundry before because I didn't realize it wasn't a divine spell. And that about covers me up. Oh, and I can heal. I can stitch flesh now, and I can heal our undead companions with tree wounds.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
If I can interrupt, I forgot to mention my archetype feat, but it's probably pretty clear which one I took. Is Aldori Duelist Dedication.
Oh.
So
Whoa.
Really?
yeah,
What?
crazy.
Interesting.
Basically, what it does is it lets the dueling sword, because it's an advanced weapon, it lets it scale as if it's a martial weapon. So
Okay.
when
Oh, that's
I
very
get
nice.
better with martial weapons, I'll get better with my dueling sword.
Mm.
Okay.
And it opens up feats later on that are really cool.
Fun.
That's cool.
Mhm.
Also, we're gonna jump back to the hero point question. I think we did agree that every time you finish out like one chapter of a book, I'll give out a hero point instead of every session. So you guys all do earn another hero point.
Hey.
Perfect.
Haven't used mine yet.
John, you
I
were
have
right.
3.
This is huge,
Huge,
big,
huge,
big level up.
big.
big level up.
Big, not that big. Immediately backtracked on big,
It's a little bit level.
It's a second level up.
Oh boy.
Not bad.
Mhm.
I forgot. You gave me one for something, but I have 3
Uh,
now. I don't know where I got the second
It
one.
was probably in a moment of weakness.
Probably the last time you'll ever give one out.
It was to shut you up about hero points.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's probably it. All right. So what's
Okay.
going on, Adam?
I guess we could do a quick recap of everything that's happened so far. So to be brief, we have a party of 4 heroes. They get summoned by Bloodlord Berline Haldoli. She has a farm. Things went quiet there. She sends these 4 rascals in to investigate. They kill a bunch of the undead there. They took down the boss cow, and they found, it looks like some humans or humanoid people had like infiltrated the farm and tried to like poison or do some weird thing with the food. They're not really sure what, but they clear out the farm. They go and report back to Berline, and that's all they really know. Then for their reward, Berline gave them the deed to a manor called Qualox Manor.
Qualogs, yeah.
Qualox Manor. And you guys basically cleared that out. You found a hand, a sentient hand there that you befriended. And yeah, you guys cleared out the manor. And then in the big thing there is in the basement, you found a dead body of someone that you determined was a priest of Zonkathon. Their skull was like blown out. And it looked like a fairy came out of there. So you guys fought a fairy down there. And you also found a key on this body. That was I think
yes, the
yeah.
obsidian key, right?
there was an obsidian key on the body, and that was the big thing. Then after that, Berline came, gave you guys like some basic materials for some renovations, and then you guys had a week of downtime, and then a week later, you guys heard some like banging at your door. So you went, and there was a skeletal bird just slamming into the door, and it had a little note with him. Nico, do you want to read that note again?
I would love to read the note again. Did I do a voice last time?
I think you just read it.
I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'll read it. I'll just read it. Fellow friends of Bloodlord Berline Haldoli, I invite you to dine with me in the shadowy, scream-filled halls of the Empty Threshold, where I faithfully fulfill my duties as head priest of the Midnight Lord. I have learned of your recent work to restore Mistress Haldoli's farm and the troubling things you discovered there. It pained me when I realized a member of my own congregation possessed information that may be related to your discovery. It seems the Dark Prince wished this information to emerge from the shadows only now. I believe it may be of use. Join me for dinner, and we can discuss the matter privately. Eternally envious, Ortagar, Stitch Skull. Eternally envious. What a sign-off of a letter, eh?
That's I'm gonna start signing off my emails at work. I was gonna say.
Eternally stressed and tired. Nico credit low.
Yeah, and then if you guys go back, there's like RSVP cards, and it's we'll say the dinner's tomorrow.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay, cool.
There's cards to RSVP. Is there one card to RSVP, or can we
There's
RSVP
4. We'll see-
individually?
There's one for each of you guys.
Did we get +1s?
No.
Yeah.
I want to
Eh?
take the hand.
Can I bring smoke?
No, in this instance, there's no +1s.
Okay, I have a question just off the bat, like reading this. So we got a letter from this head priest of the Midnight Lord.
Yes.
Who is the Midnight
You would
Lord?
know the Midnight Lord is Zonkathon.
Zonkathon.
He's like the god of pain. I think that's the only domain I know is pain.
That's it.
So
all right.
I think darkness, right?
probably
Maybe
darkness.
maybe like shadow.
Okay,
if it-
and do any of us like know of this Ortagar Stitch Skull?
You would know he's like the head honcho of the church in Grey Dirge, but I don't
like
think
nothing specific.
any of
like-
you have like met him. But
Okay.
yeah, that's all you really know.
Like, based on his last name, I think we can figure out what he does.
Will we know what faction he's in? Like if he's in one of the major Gebite factions?
You don't, from what you've heard, you don't really think he belongs to one. He's kind of like the church is its own thing.
Okay.
Did you say that this was tomorrow? This dinner is like
Yeah, it's tomorrow night.
Like, do we want to stop by Berlin and maybe just like ask her about him.
Dig up a
She-
little dirt.
Dig up, like, see if she has any like background knowledge as a blood lord.
You're
Maybe
gonna
she
try
has.
blackmailing this guy in your first encounter?
No, just to know
Just
more
ask.
about him. This guy's like, oh yeah, we're the head priest of the Midnight Lord. We have information for you. We gotta make sure. We gotta go like run a background check.
Okay.
Run it by the database, which is Berlin.
Yeah. Although I'm a little bit worried about being too reliant on Berlin.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And she's been nice.
She has been nice. That's what scares me.
I mean, you know, it's her job.
I mean,
Okay.
she used us for the farm. We can use her to get some information.
She did
Yeah.
reward
It's
us
just-
too.
That's fair.
She gave us a walking cauldron.
She gave us a
True.
walking cauldron.
Walking cauldron and a
Did give a
house.
walking
And a house.
I mean, who's handing out property these days? I mean, really?
It's not a house, it's a manor.
Okay.
Even better.
Pardon me. It's an estate.
Have
It
we
is, it
fixed
really
it up
is.
a bit in the week as well?
I think we
Yeah,
definitely
I mean,
spent some time.
I specifically set up a little like shrine for Nimbleoff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
assuming. No, you guys just left a big hole
Yeah.
in the wall to like do renovations. They just covered it with the tarp and walked away.
We already
Oh, yeah.
ordered out for the bloodbath.
Oh,
So
not
yeah.
the blood. What's
Oh, we're filling that
what's
back.
the hand's name? Argon the Annihilator?
It was Argon the Annihilator.
Argon the Annihilator. Well, he's helped us out too, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
he's
clean
been
up.
very slowly cleaning out the house. But
Hey.
he's one hand.
Yeah.
So
In a
it's-
week?
I heard he's pretty handy.
yeah.
Yeah.
In a
Wasn't
week,
he,
he's
wasn't
gotta
he
get something.
smashing dishes as we walked in.
He was throwing it at a swarm of rats, though. It was.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So we had to order new dishes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I guess my question: do we got any prep that we need to do before we set out for this dinner party?
Well, we
Or-
do a little like shopping, sell off any extra wares. Like we had the scythe,
Just
the
gen-
hatchet,
yeah.
my old armor,
Mhm.
and then all those platinum fangs.
Yeah.
No use in keeping that around, gathering dust.
Do we want to buy anything before?
Looking into that now. I'm looking at
Like
drugs.
general, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe a couple
Yeah.
of potions. Like, what are they? The ones that heal undead?
Oil of Unlife.
Oil of unlife. Yeah.
I was looking at actual drugs in Pathfinder.
Yeah.
Because what if there's one that makes you better at,
They
talking
have-
with people?
Or like
They have-
shiver. Is that a drug?
Alcohol's the first drug, which is off to a good start.
Does
but
Pathfinder?
I think that'll
have,
be there.
Does Pathfinder have drug addiction?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
Wow.
whole
what a
mechanic
whole
for it.
side of Pathfinder that I never knew existed.
Who wants some blood eye coffee?
That's the one I was thinking of. Literally, Blood Eye Coffee is. I remember that one.
I wouldn't
yeah,
mind
it-
for needle darts if Nico and I each got a cold iron chunk, but they're about 10 GP a piece.
But
Yeah.
cold iron is pretty sick.
It's nice to have for needle
Oh.
darts.
do we
Yeah.
need it though?
Yeah.
It's mostly against like
Maybe.
Fae.
You
We
might
didn't
mean
just fight that fairy.
it didn't have any
That's
cold iron
a
resistance
good
though.
point.
Oh, well, we didn't know that.
I mean, you would have known your attacks were going through no
You know
problem.
what?
Actually,
Ryan,
actually,
That's a good point.
But I did though.
Yeah.
John does it.
I like that. I like that idea, Ryan. I think we keep that on the backlog.
Yeah.
I'll keep it.
Like
Once we have
that.
a
That'll
look
be
at
on our radar.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
definitely a good idea because as you encounter more monsters and get higher levels, they're going to start having resistances or
Yeah.
vulnerabilities, and it'll help
Yeah.
exploiting that.
One thing to discuss though is I actually do need like a pair of binoculars or a telescope in order to do my background feat.
How much is that?
And they're pricey.
Oh no.
So I think a telescope is like 30 GP.
A
Oh
telescope.
my gosh.
How do you use it? Like I feel like a telescope is a
It's
lot
like
for
the-
you to set up.
It's like
or you just, like,
it's the
collapsible?
telescopic one.
yeah. Like this one doesn't have a tripod. This is like
Yeah.
a pocket telescope.
Yeah,
One of those
yeah.
old little ones.
Oh, I forgot what they freaking call it too. I can't even look it up.
Looking
Eyeglass,
glass?
an eyeglass,
Spyglass.
maybe?
Spyglass.
Spyglass.
something along those.
I think
yeah.
spyglass. Yeah,
I think
spy.
20
Spyglass
gold.
Ray. I just started playing Sea of Thieves.
Oh, there you
20
go.
GP.
Sea of
20 GP
Thieves.
for spyglass.
Oh my
Now,
gosh.
one thing we could do is we could split the difference on the price of this, and we could say like I bought like a hijinksy one from like a somebody
Yeah.
because corrective lenses, like actual like seeing lenses in Pathfinder are like $2. They're just like two cheap bunks, and the spyglass is like $20. So we could like split the difference between those two things, and it could be like
What does your feat specifically say it needs to?
my feat says
If you get a spyglass, I get a brass ear.
you
Not
ha-
this again.
with the help of enhanced visual gear, such as a specifically modified telescope, goggle visor, or binoculars, you are keenly aware of movement of combatants on the battlefield.
How much are binoculars? More?
I actually don't even see them in the frickin' list. I'll be honest with you.
Really?
I was looking. I didn't see them anywhere.
I feel like it's more of a flavor thing.
Is it more of a flavor
Yeah.
thing?
I
I thought it
don't-
was like specifically you need some sort of
Because
specialized
the
gear.
spyglass has a purpose. It lets you see like 8 times further or something like
Mm.
that. I think this is just like your character is now going to be wearing like spectacle, like little goggles on them. Which I don't know how they're gonna stay on. You don't have ears, but you know.
I'm fine.
Whoa.
Skeleton.
It seems a little racist.
I'm just
Dude, I can't believe you would comment on my lack.
This guy's gonna say we don't have eyeballs. So what's the point?
I know.
You know what?
My
That's also a
God.
good point. But
My God.
I'm fine with you just spending the money for like the corrective eyewear.
how much is corrective eyewear?
He said it was like $2 or something.
It's
Two
5
bonds?
SP. I'll
Okay.
pay for it out of my own pocket.
Never mind. Go back to 20 gold pieces.
Should we split up money before we spend it?
Nah.
Nah.
Yeah. I think
I think we're pretty good on
We're pretty good on sharing.
like general party funds.
Yeah.
Like I think we'll
We have
be
about
okay
8.5
there.
gold.
I'm actually a degenerate gambler, so you should not let me know.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Listen, everyone stops before their big win, you know?
95% of gamblers quit right before they hit it big.
Exactly.
As we were walking into town, this guy on the side of the road said he could turn my 10 gold into 20 gold. Like I think he's on to something.
Come on.
Like come
Yeah.
on.
He ran off really fast after I gave it to him.
Actually, just invested in bone coin.
Crypto's the future in Grey Dirge. So yeah, sounds like you guys want to. Do you guys want to go to Berlin? To what are you laughing
I'm
at?
sorry, crypto, and they're all like dead. Like
Oh,
crypt.
I was even trying to make that joke.
Crypt-O.
Yeah.
Are you guys? So do you guys want to go to Berlin to get a background check on this guy, or are you guys just gonna raw dog it and go
like
in?
I feel like I'd want to, but I'm okay with not.
Look. Let's.
Like
we
I'm
can
fine
talk
with
to her.
just. You want to talk to her?
I agree. I don't want to go into this blind.
Like
I agree.
even just like, hey, Berlin, we're going to a little dinner party at this guy. He might have some ideas on what's going on at your farm. We were just wondering, like, what do you know about him? That kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think
yeah, you guys go to Berlin?
even like on the way to the dinner party,
Okay.
like not a long whole day visit. Like stopping by Berlin's, then we'll head out, go to the dinner party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So does anyone have anything else they want to do, or we can just jump to?
Oh, actually,
Berlin
there's one.
toast.
Sorry, I feel like I'm. One thing, where the hell is this place? Also, because he doesn't sign with a location.
Well, he says empty threshold in the.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
The
empty
Springfield halls are the empty threshold.
Yeah,
yes.
empty threshold's like the cathedral to Zongathon in the city. So you
Oh,
know, yeah,
okay,
you know where
okay,
it is.
okay.
Yeah.
We know.
Okay, gotcha.
Andrew, have you
yeah, I had
seen
my baptism
the
there.
item that
True,
you
true.
linked?
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It allows you to get a +1 circumstance bonus to AC and deception checks to feign until the next start of your next turn, and it's 5 silver piece.
Yeah, I'll look into it. No, requires a hand. Nope.
Okay.
Need to have a free hand.
It's just,
Fair enough.
Let me show you down real quick there. I need a free hand.
All right.
I would like to do something before we go.
Yes?
I'm assuming when we go and buy his little spectacles,
Mm-hmm.
we're in the town.
Okay.
Could I do a check to gather information on this guy? Just talking with a couple
Sure.
locals, seeing what I
Sure.
can dig
Yeah,
up.
give me like a diplomacy check.
I would also like to use a skill feat that I've had since level 1.
No.
Streetwise, which came with my background, which allows me to roll society instead of diplomacy to gather information.
Okay. Yeah, it's.
Because
I will allow
society's
that.
way better. That's the only reason why.
If
That's
the
a cool
rules say it,
concept.
I'll
You're like
allow it.
wandering the streets, listening to murmurs.
Yeah.
Hop in a local bar, ask them questions. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
exactly. 24.
24. Can you please roll me a d6 now?
Sure, why not? 1.
Okay. So you're kind of asking around. Listen, you don't really get a lot of information, but what you do overhear someone say is you hear one guy bitching about how like these days you got to watch over your money yourself, and he's like complaining that the Grey Dirge Bank shut down a couple years ago. You've learned all the money was withdrawn, but there's rumors that there's a few lock boxes still down in the bank that could be claimed.
Okay.
Oh.
Wait, so the bank shut down though?
Yes,
So it's like an abandoned building.
correct. But you know the guards still kind of like watch over it to make sure there's no like
No free
people
reign.
sneaking in, like that kind of stuff.
Oh.
But it's like a loose operation. They're not like
Mhm.
they don't got like half the guard force watching this abandoned building.
Okay.
Mhm.
I think that's a good thing to keep on our radar. I do think maybe we still just go to the dinner though. And then if we're running low on funds and we want to maybe buy some cold iron or I don't know, just throwing it out there. Telescope, who knows? Maybe
but-
we stop by the bank.
That'd be fucking wild if we were just like, yeah, we're not gonna go to dinner. There's a bank apparently that hasn't
Yeah,
been
yeah, yeah.
robbed
Yeah.
yet.
We're gonna go rob
There's a bank we have to rob. We're gonna be 15 minutes late.
No, it's okay. It's abandoned. There's no one there to
Yeah,
stop
It's
us.
abandoned. In and out, 15 minutes.
Yeah, just fucking brain fairies and hands that are destroyers and who knows what else.
Yeah. Do we need to bring something to this event?
Oh,
Should we bring like a baked good?
I don't
or
know, carrot muffins or something.
something.
Just
Carrot
find the
muffins.
cheapest bottle of wine we can.
Oh my god! Please, please, can we all show up separately with the same cheapest shit bottle of wine?
If we stop by the prison, we can just make some.
And do you guys all hype up how great the wine is when you get there?
Oh, yeah.
It's your
Oh, yeah,
favorite.
yeah.
It's my
We
favorite
we
rosé.
actually drink the majority of it.
Like best bang for your buck wine right here.
Okay, so we'll cut to Berline's house then.
Mhm.
Sure.
So you guys show up there. You get past the butler. You get past Reacher, and you meet her in her study in her house. She's like, "Hello, how can I help you guys?"
Who wants to take the lead here?
Do you want me to, or do you want to go?
No, go for it.
Okay, I'll go for it.
I can't remember the guy's
Um,
name, so it's all you.
Hello, Berline.
Hi.
We were just on our way. We got word from Ortagar Stitch Skull. Have you ever heard the name
Oh
before?
yes. We go way back. Me and him, we get together every now and then. We tend to make all sorts of recipes and stuff. We cook a lot together.
Oh, big cooking group, eh?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
lovely.
go in the Greater Cook Shop.
Greater cook shop.
Big cooking group.
Anyways, yeah, he invited us over for dinner. He seems to have some knowledge on something on what was going on with your farm. We just wanted to run by and see if you had any insight,
Interesting.
any background
Yes,
that we might want to know about him.
I've spoken to him. I haven't really spoken to him about the farm. I didn't think he would be the one to have information, but I'm surprised he'd go to you over me. But if he invited you, I mean, we're old friends. I think you should go learn what you can and report back to me.
Anything important that we should know about his personality, and I don't want to get on his bad side.
No, he's pretty. For a Zon Cathan priest, he's pretty relaxed. You'd really need to piss him off. I can't think of anything you should know though.
Fair enough.
Thank you. We're all very new to the political landscape, and we were confused on why he went to us instead.
Yeah, I mean he has powerful connections just like myself, so I'm sure if he knows something about the plot at my farm, it's probably best to get it from him.
Sorry. One of the things that we found at Qualog's Manor was actually that the previous owner had been a priest or at least a very strong worshipper of Zonkathon. And we have reason to believe he had contact with the Shadow Plane. Do you know if perhaps there was like a connection to the church previously, or?
I mean, what did you find? Did you find like documents that connected Qualog to like Zonkathon?
It was slightly more telling than that. He had robes.
Oh, you found the body.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, I there's nothing I know. If honestly, your best bet is the church to get that figured out.
I suppose also, do you know of any recent sort of like factions or disputes within the church that perhaps maybe this Qualog is somebody we shouldn't mention to?
No, I don't. I haven't heard. Honestly, Ortagar, he kind of tries to stay away from that stuff. So I would, if you're going, like he's not really associated with any of the factions. So
Okay. I think that about covers then what we're.
yes, just make sure whatever you learn, you come back and tell me.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
You seem quite keen to know.
Yes, information is power in Geb after all.
Yeah.
Just if you stick by my side, I'll make sure we get to the top.
Well, yes. Well, this has been a good conversation.
Yes,
Yes, have fun.
Thank you, my lady.
Yes.
We will do
Before
our
we
best.
go,
Yes?
So disclaimer, still experimenting with character voice. Iggsy will pipe up and I'll say, could you draw a picture of her? Of him? Sorry.
Of them.
Of them?
And now Adam, draw a
Stitch
very
Skull.
detailed picture of Stitch Skull for us.
Or could you just describe Stitch Skull to me?
Yes, he so the name is very on the nose. He has a lot of scars on his head and on the nose.
It's all it takes.
Yeah, don't
Okay, perfect.
try not to stare.
He's gonna draw a sketch of a skull with a bunch of cracks in it.
He's human. He's not undead.
Oh.
Yes,
That's actually a good
That-
point.
It is no most if you don't most Zon Cathan
Worshipper?
Cathonites, is that I'm trying to
Chthonites?
Chthonians?
most
Yeah,
Cathan,
Chthonites.
most Chthonites they tend to
Are they Kruthite?
remain human or humanoid, whatever race they are, because they don't believe that the undead can feel pain in the same way a living creature can.
Interesting. So you're telling me Is this self-inflicted?
I don't know. I've been too embarrassed to ask him about it. I'm very shy. I don't think he likes talking about it.
I had heard rumors they do practice
That should be one-
self-flagellation.
That
Yes,
should be one
that-
of your first questions that you ask him.
Did you do that to yourself?
I can confirm that is not a rumor. That is they do self-inflict pain. Sometimes when I go there, I have to draw blood from some of them to honor the god. It's okay. It's all willing. It's all good.
I just thought he had a scar guy.
Exilian and close. You want me to ask him?
Yes, please.
All
If
right.
you find out, please let me know.
All right. The reason I did that is because I want to pursue a lead on Stitch Skull,
Okay.
and I need a rough image of
Okay.
what they look like. So
Yeah,
She's got stitches on his skull. Like, no, no, no.
she draws a
Should be
very.
pretty
It's a
simple.
very crappy stick figure with like lines on its head.
good enough. That's all I need.
The hands are just two circles. With
If
like
you
5
have an hour to
sticks on
kill,
them.
Reacher can give you a pretty good.
A bit of an artist with the flesh, but not the pen.
Yes.
just a general idea is good enough. Anything else before we go?
Nothing from me. Just wanted to.
He also hates when you bring cheap wine.
Oh no.
Oh.
How cheap?
Cheap.
Like one
Bo-
silver, one gold.
Cheap.
That's not an answer.
I don't know the cost of the cheapest wine, so whatever that is.
Okay.
It's not cheap. It's a microbrew.
We'll just find an expensive bottle and put a cheap bottle of wine inside
Yes.
of the expensive bottle.
Take the sticker off the expensive one and put it on the cheap.
No, he hates that even more.
If we buy four bottles, we put it in a very small barrel.
I think a barrel of shitty wine is better than a bottle of good wine.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, it depends
Yeah.
on what you want to do with it. If you go,
I think so.
At a dinner party, you bring a barrel of wine. Like we're just having a meal.
I brought my barrel.
Yeah, I always show up with a keg. What are you talking about?
I just want to show up with a slab of meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I brought this fucking brisket.
Could you imagine somebody invited you to a fucking party and you just brought a fucking brisket? You're like, no, this is really good. We should eat
Not
this
cooked.
instead.
No, it's not cooked.
You got a barbecue?
I see somebody's got
Yeah.
like a bag of munchies,
Yeah.
Funyuns, and I brought a brisket.
I brought a whole half of a cow.
That's Mushguta's
Yeah.
corpse. It's a little rotten.
All
I
don't
don't think there's anything else we have to do here.
No,
The
yeah, I think
meat
we're
just
done
falls
with
off the
Berlin.
bone.
As a side note,
Yes.
like, oh no,
Oh, you're talking to me?
I'm asking
Okay.
Adam.
Okay.
Don't worry. The skull fairies, are they like important creatures to Chthonites? Because they're like shadow plane creatures.
No.
Okay. That's my
Okay.
question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we setting?
Anything else for anyone before you guys head off
this?
to Empty Threshold? Was that the name of the cathedral?
It
Yeah, I
was.
think
Yep.
so.
Okay.
I think that covers it. I don't think.
All right.
Are there any good vineyards you'd recommend on the way?
I don't know. Get the fuck out of my house.
You just stunned him. He looked at you. He had no idea. How to
Not a-
respond.
He was like, I'm gonna try. No, I'm not.
No.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Get out of
She
here.
slams your face. Get the fuck out of my house.
Throws
Can't
you
believe
out.
they would ask for your
Reacher
goddamn
grabs you and
vineyards.
throws you out the
Yeah,
door.
Reacher.
Reacher is not taking that. Anyways, let's
Brother
embark
thrower.
on this journey to the empty threshold.
Let's do it.
All right. You guys walk like 10, 15 minutes and you get there.
Beautiful.
Oh, it's pretty close.
So you guys walk.
What?
It's 32 miles actually. It's just Adam has no fucking clue.
It takes longer. if you
terrible.
use
He's a
carriage.
terrible judge of distance. 30 miles in. It's a 10-15 minute walk.
Yeah, I don't have the map of Great Dirge. I'm assuming it's fairly close.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my verdict. It's in canon now that it's 10 to 15 minutes away.
Good to know.
So you guys show up at like the grand doors at the temple's entrance, and when you guys go in, 3 acolytes approach you. They have feminine builds. They're all covered in like black, sort of like leathery garbs, and they each have a serrated dagger on their hip. You can see of these acolytes, one of them, you can see they have tattoos on their skin, and it looks like depictions of like really beautiful creatures, but they all appear to be in like immense pain. And then the other 2 acolytes that were following the lead one, they just have a bunch of fresh scars all over their body.
Can I do a religion check to see if there's like a standard greeting for Chthonian?
Sure.
Okay. It's like they just dap me up. Oh, I've never had that happen before. Okay. Nat 20.
So you know the standard Zonkathon welcome. It's a fist bump.
Solid.
Wait, with or without the explosion?
It's with the explosion for high ranking, like priests, but for like low level acolytes, there's no explosion.
Yeah, but as an outsider, would I just give him like a little dap and then?
Yeah,
a little-
sure.
Okay, so I'll give him the bump.
Give the bump. Says
Yeah.
hello. I assume you are the 4 guests that our high priest has invited to the temple. My name is Gefka. So
What's that sign?
Gefka. That's
well, here's how the name's spelled. So it's Ygefkha.
Even worse than I thought.
I'm
The
sorry.
older
I'm sorry.
face on the keyboard.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Say again.
Ygefkha.
YG. Gefka.
Gefka. I just said the Y silence
Okay.
Gefka.
Okay.
My name is Gefka, and this is Rofella and Teket.
They gotta work on those.
These are very typical Geb names. Why do you look so surprised?
Well met.
Yeah.
Yes, well met. I guess let's proceed into the temple. I'll take you to the dining hall.
Thank you.
Please,
Thank
unless
you
there's
kindly.
any fun facts of the temple you'd like to share on the way there.
Yes, so actually it's all original. It's all original. The temple. There's been, I'm sure you heard in the other city over, the temple burned down, but this one's never burned down. It's all original.
Can I do a?
Very rare for temples of the darker gods.
I know they burn down like every other week.
Are these pillars
Tell me.
Alduri marble?
I would know.
You would know. The only genuine lore that I have is fucking architecture. So can I do a lore check on the architecture?
Sure.
Okay, 19.
It's very classic Zon Cathan architecture for like the temples.
Okay, and can I tell that it's original? Does it have sort of very obvious?
Yeah, you knock on it and you're like, oh yeah, that's original. You can tell by the echo.
Those columns Ionic or Dolic?
I'm not. I'm not a high enough priest to know that. I'm sorry.
We're never gonna eat the dinner.
What
We
did
get
you
a
even
letter
a-
for a
what-
dinner party, and we got like 45 minutes of investigation before we head to this dinner party.
What the fuck did you ask?
It's the style of column, whether they taper towards the top or
I don't know, man.
it's Ionic or Dolic. Well, physics joke. All columns are Ionic.
Alrighty.
They'll continue leading you through the
She
temple.
looks at you and she goes, continues walking.
They eventually take you to a small ablution room.
What?
It's like a room to like wash yourself in a church before going to like.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was either, but I looked it up.
Ablution?
Yeah,
Ablution,
yeah,
yeah.
because you're
Oh,
gonna perform ablution. Ablution is the correct word. It is the wrong word, I think.
I don't know. But
don't
they
know, I've
come
never
and they'll look to you guys and they'll say, before we proceed, would any of you like to offer the proper rites to Zonkathon before we go further?
Yeah.
What does that entail?
Yes, the ceremonial washing, it involves the cleansing from a supplicant's body. If one of you is unwilling to provide the blood, we have our 2 acolytes here that would be more than happy to offer. And
What do we do?
Rofella she'll offer herself up.
Because we don't bleed.
Am I the only one who has blood here?
No, I have blood.
Brian, please.
Oh, okay.
If you don't want to cut yourself, you can cut one of the acolytes. to
I'll
offer
cut
the blood.
myself, but like I just don't have any blood to produce.
Then
for
you'll
that.
have to cut one of our acolytes here. Again, you don't have to do this to go forward, but
Would I do that as a priest of Nimbaloth? Like, would I perform their
well,
rites?
yeah,
I
you're
don't-
paying respects to the god.
Yeah.
I'm not really associated with any deity, so I feel like to
You-
me,
you
I
don't
would
have
do
to if
I
you
would
don't
do
want
it
to.
out of respect.
Okay.
Like I
Yeah.
don't want to get on a bad foot, so I would
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
unfortunately, I am unable to produce my own blood, so I'm gonna have to cut you. Do I get to pick who I cut?
Rofella was the acolyte that
Rofella.
offered herself up. So I'm assuming, Nico and John, I'm assuming you guys are gonna, since you guys are both skeletons, you're gonna cut.
Yeah.
I'll have to cut. Yeah,
Rofella.
we'll have to cut. Rofella.
Andrew, are you cutting yourself? Cutting Rofella? What are you thinking?
I'll do a little, when you draw blood to test for diabetes, your blood sugar.
Okay.
I'll do a
you
little.
take out your little
well,
poker.
So there's gonna be
I'll
checks.
take out my little poker, pick my finger.
There's checks I want to have you guys make, and then Ryan, what are
Okay.
you doing?
Yeah, my armor's not summoned, so I'm gonna roll up like the robes of my my priest robes and.
Okay, so anyone who's attempting,
I did want to ask. Sorry, one question before
Yes.
you go in. Can I do like a perception check? Like if I was playing D&D, I'd do an insight check. But can I see how fucking intense they are about this? Like, Are they saying like, oh, it's chill,
Sure.
it's no worries,
Yeah.
but
Oh.
actually they want you to
Like a
fucking
sense
do it?
motive.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's gonna be. Would the lantern apply?
I'm assuming you turned it off when you walked in.
Okay.
The lantern's
that's-
always on.
The lantern stays on.
I mean, are you being serious with that, or would you like if you're leaving it on? They would have asked you to turn it off. 'Cause
Would they
it's weird.
actually?
Yeah.
Okay, then I would probably turn it
Okay.
off. But then 19.
Yeah, I mean, you get the sense they're being a little more chill than they're leading on, but at the end of the day, they don't really care.
Okay.
They would prefer you do it than not, but if you really don't want to, then they're not going to force you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll cut a bitch. Let's do it.
Oh my God.
Like right for the jugular. She's dead.
One small cut. You just start stabbing her like 20 times.
So for anyone who's partaking, it's going to be a DC 6. I almost said the thing there. I probably did say it, but it's going to be a medicine or religion check or a Zonkathon lore check.
Oh.
If you have it.
Oh, I forgot my
even if we're
Zonkathon
cutting
lore
someone
roll.
else.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, what
Is
did I roll?
a.
Okay.
I assume a 19 is gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're good.
23.
Yep, you're good.
18 medicine.
You're good.
That is a 20.
Okay, so
Hey,
everyone's
guys, I actually got a
good.
good medicine roll.
For our two.
Hey,
our two-
congrats!
Hell
yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
That's that new level.
I did what I'm supposed to do.
Our two living creatures, you'll take 1 point of damage from.
Are you kidding me?
This is bullshit.
I can't do that. Yeah, it's fine.
Suckers.
You'll each take 1 point of damage, and then our skeletons they inflict 2 points of damage to Rafaela.
Jeez.
So you guys continue into the. They'll lead you through another door, and you guys will continue through the church. It's really dark in here. Even while walking through, you see a bunch of like dead end passages, and at one point you see like another acolyte like huddled up and crying in one of the corners.
Oh.
Is this like good crying or?
You don't know.
Do the
Tears
do
of
the
pleasure
three
and
the
pain.
three acolytes that are with us? Do they have any reaction to that?
They don't. They
don't
don't even care. They just keep
Yeah.
walking.
Can we see like is there any like new wounds on her or something?
Yeah, give me a perception check as you're walking by.
As far as I'm concerned,
This
that
is
is
+3, +2
Oh.
still, because I still have the. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Just smack my mic.
Overwatch is only for initiative.
No.
I got 10.
Overwatch Field. You see. Oh wait, yeah, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I am wrong.
With the 10, you can't tell. You can definitely tell they're covered with scars, but you don't know if they're fresh or not.
Fair enough.
So you guys will continue. You'll eventually walk past like some crumbling stairs, and you can just hear like someone wailing from like the basement that these stairs lead to. Again, the acolytes don't even pay any mind to it. They just keep walking.
Should we ask them about this stuff? Like, is that rude maybe to question what's going on here? Not question it, but even say like, oh, you guys always have that going on.
What does Masses think? Because Iggy's like,
That's
I'm
what
not
I'm
talking to these
wondering.
people.
From what
But I'm trying to take like a respect approach because if this guy has information that will help us, I don't want to get on anyone's bad side. So part of me is like, take note of what's going on, but just swallow my tongue. And just
From what you
follow
guys
him.
know about Zonkathon worship, like this is
normal?
nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is nothing weird.
Fair enough.
Eventually, they'll take you into a large worship hall before leading you through a discreet back door that leads into Ortagar's quarters. The priest, you see him, he's sitting and it looks he's experimenting with something at his, he's at the head of the table. He stands up, he says, my friends, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you taking the time to meet me for dinner. And he looks like this.
Oh, so
Oh,
he kind of
okay.
looks like the bad guy from the first two Mummy movies.
That's what I was thinking. The same. Yeah.
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 With scars on his skull.
Yeah.
He has like darker skin. He has blue eyes. He's wearing like the standard. Well, I guess not the standard Zonkathon robes. Definitely the robes of like a higher up priest. He has like scars that are stitched together all over his skull, and it looks like he's wearing red lipstick.
Interesting.
I don't
Fun,
know if his
fun.
lips are just really red or if he's wearing lipstick.
He was just having a red
I'll
popsicle.
ask.
He had a
That's,
red popsicle before he came by.
That's just standard Zonkathon high priest stuff. They always wear red lipstick.
Yeah. It's part of the uniform.
interesting.
He says, yes, yes, my friends, thank you so much for coming. He kind of points to where his plate is and like waves to the acolytes. And you see Gefka runs over to cover up his platter. Before she does, you guys can see there's like a dead arachnid there, and several of its limbs have been separated from its thorax. The acolyte will cover it up and take the tray out. And then you see Ortagar picks up the like a black cloth, like a napkin, at his side of the table. He'll clean off his spoon and then place it back on his table like he's gonna use it to eat later.
Like, did it look like he was eating this spider, or he was doing something?
No, he was
to
like
it?
dissecting it.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
Do we know of any rituals or spells or something where you need like these components of a spider? I don't know.
You give me an Arcana check.
15?
Yeah, you've heard of some stuff, but usually, see, he's not in like an arcane lab. He's at a fucking dinner table.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like, that's
It's like
weird.
a little bit weird that he's dissecting a spider at the table before his guests come.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Can I do an esoteric lore check on this spider? Like, is it a monster species I would recognize?
I don't know, man. It's
no,
just a
just leave
spider.
leave it be. Okay, I got
It's a
you.
brown
I got you.
recluse.
Fucking spider.
I
That's
know
my
the
bad.
spider,
That's
yeah.
my bad. That's my bad. That's my bad.
I'm sorry about that.
You don't got to make a check, but you know, I mean, it's like a regular. It's a spider native to this region.
It's big though.
It's like the
big enough
size
to
of
be
like a cat.
dissected? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
It's a big spider.
okay.
Yeah. So Ortagar will.
I actually had one of those as a kid growing up. Pet.
A big spider.
A big spider like that. Yeah.
Classic,
Classic
child eating
Gabite
spider.
family pet.
I thought you were saying like you, John, had
Yeah,
a.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck are you
Like,
talking about,
John, I was going into my memory. I'm like, when did this spider exist? All right, take the
Yes,
spider
please have seats. Dinner should be ready momentarily.
away. Thank you for the hospitality. I
Yes, of
appreciate you
course.
inviting us over.
I appreciate you coming.
I look forward to discussing the matters at hand. But
Yes, actually, I did my research on you. I don't recall. There's not a lot of information on you guys before you helped my dear friend Berline with her trouble on the farm. Maybe some of you would like to go through your backstories because we haven't really gone through that yet.
I think that's a little forward.
That's
you are asking way too much.
Yeah, he's just gonna ask about your past. I feel like this is a good time we could talk about some characters' backstories, however much you guys want to reveal.
yeah.
Sure.
I
do
suppose it wouldn't make a lot of sense for you to have heard of me. I have worked on some things for the church, but nothing important. I was stationed with the what are they called? The builders?
I think the buildings. Yeah.
They're called like the builders
builders?
faction
They
or
build?
something.
Yeah, we should maybe not right now, but later on we should go through all the great factions.
Yeah,
that
I'm gonna
you
need to
have.
do like index cards and like learn them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a builders guild though. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was I worked quality control and assessment with the Builders Guild, and that was my role for several years. It was quite a minor role, and I recently finished my contract with them, so I'm freelancing.
Yes. Well, it's a good thing my friend Berline took you into under her wing.
Mm-hmm.
How about yourself, other skeleton man?
Well, not evident in our past party experiences, but ever since I found that I had a knack for treating the wounded, it was very quick for Berline to take me under her wing and for me to work with the corpse stitchers to really just help out with all of the destruction that surrounds us, and so I've just spent a lot of time helping around with that.
Very nice. Very nice. I'm sorry. Is that an Aldori dueling sword? Aldori dueling sword?
Aldori, yeah.
Yeah. Very nice. I haven't seen one for a while.
Thank you. I take care of it regularly.
It looks nice.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You start doing like tricks with it though.
Yeah. Yeah, but have you seen this? And I start flourishing it around the table.
Oh, this whole thing.
Hit a
And whips and
chandelier.
shit? Yeah, you're just destroying everything.
Just treating it like a tech deck, doing like tricks.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like the scene from Smiling Friends where he's like, "Oh, he's a wizard with a skateboard." And he pulls out his tech. Is he asking about me?
Yes, please. I'd love to hear about you. We don't see many of your kind in this part of the world.
Humans?
No, Aldori.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yes, you're mostly native to the River Kingdoms.
Yes, that is originally where I'm from. I decided to travel down here for a bit. I've just been kind of exploring the world since I've learned how to work with the sword and duel with the sword. And I've just been kind of getting experience going around seeing who I can take in a duel. And when I finally got here, I got involved with the food trading and the traveling cart. So I decided to make a little bit of extra money. I was a young guy and somewhat built, so they had me carrying a lot. But I started realizing exploring might be more profitable. So I stopped working there. But that's how I met Berline.
Oh, interesting. Yes. And what about you? I think your name is Ilrune?
Yes, that is correct. I've only been in the city for around a month now. I was originally from Kulinet, beneath the city, or beneath the nation.
I'm sorry, where?
Kulinet?
Is that a dwarven hold?
It is.
Okay.
There are many vibrant oasis cities located in the tunnel network below Geb.
Oh, yes. Is it in the Darklands?
I don't believe so.
Not that deep.
They're,
Okay.
it is flooded with positive energy. It's a terrible place to be right now.
Ew.
I was originally a grave tender there when I discovered Nimbleoff, and I was discovered attempting to raise the dead, where I was executed and cast out. Luckily, my lady saw fit to reanimate me, and now I've been serving as the town guard under Lady Berline.
Interesting. Well, thank you so much for openly sharing your stories with me.
Let's hear your story.
Yes, I was actually about to provide it.
Perfect.
I figured it's not fair.
Boring.
Boring.
Stop staring at my stitches.
I can't.
He's like, well, I love to take apart spiders.
Yeah.
From
Ever
from-
since I was a young one.
From what I know about my past, I was born in Grey Dirge. I was dumped at the temple at a very young age when my parents died. I don't exactly know how they died, but I suspect they were victims of violent crime, maybe some undead creature's appetite. But honestly, I guess it is what it is. Life is defined by loss, and the loss of my parents is what propelled me on this path of greater understanding and being at Zonkathon's side and leading his church. And I guess from there, I just rose through the ranks of the church, and I'm now the high priest of Empty Threshold.
Very impressive.
Yes, and I think dinner. Yes, and then a bunch of the other acolytes will come in, and they'll start laying out trays on the table as they're lifting the covers off. You can see some of the food. You see, like, there's pigeons stuffed with onions and spices, minced beef, roasted vegetables, stuffed dates, and buttery pastry drizzled generously with honey. And if you guys want any like wine or ale, there's like a side table with a bunch of stuff, and Ortagar will like offer to get up and pour you a glass if you want one. But you do notice he's not partaking in any alcohol. He's just having water.
Yeah, every time he stands up, I ask him for something, he walks over there. It takes me half a second to drink it because it just goes right through. And then the second he sits down, I go, "Hey, I need another refill."
Yeah. You just tell him, just stay up. Just stay up while you're.
Yeah. Igsley will get some wine.
Okay, yeah, he'll.
But every
as
time he
well.
takes a sip, you see like a little smirk stinge on his face because he's young. He doesn't really like it.
He just wants to
hasn't
seem
acquired
grown
it.
up.
He wants to look grown up.
One glass of your finest wine, please.
One wine.
I'll have one wine, please.
One
red or
unit
white?
of wine. Yeah, and all the food, it's really good. And he'll also bring out other stuff for our two undead friends.
Oh,
Like
what?
Just raw calcium for your bones.
Ooh.
calcium paste.
Yeah, calcium paste.
How do you-
Love calcium.
You just rub it on your
How do
bones.
you make
It's
it
like wood
fancier,
filler.
though?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
Put,
put
sprinkled
like,
some-
chives on
Yeah,
it.
they sprinkle some
purity.
saffron in there.
Yeah.
Bring you like a toothbrush.
Yeah.
Do you we'll cut to the end of dinner unless you guys have any questions you want to ask him during the dinner.
I mean, beyond like, why did he call us here? What he wants to talk
Yeah,
about?
like other stuff.
Yeah.
Just who he is. Trying to think if there's anything worthwhile to ask. We heard you're quite close with Berline.
Yes. Berline and I, honestly, I have a lot of respect for her. She's one of the few bloodlords
Mhm.
that chose to remain alive than go down the path of undeath. Yes, we share many interests in delicious food, and we've refined many recipes together throughout the years.
I know there's a bit of controversy about Berline's expansion in Grey Dirge. Wait, are we at Grey Dirge? Yeah.
Yes.
Do you how do you feel about that? Have you noticed anything sort of significant about it lately?
I'm fine with it, to be honest. She's one of the few bloodlords that actually looks out for her people.
Mhm.
But I think it's just other bloodlords are worried about her making a power play. For me, she's not gonna come after the church, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah. I mean, I sort of, to your point, there's not much about us before our work with Berlin. We're not so deeply entrenched in the political sphere of Grey Dirge and Geb more broadly. Are there any other bloodlords in the city?
Occasionally one might visit, but this is Berline's domain.
Mhm.
She's the head honcho, so to speak.
Well, thank you.
Yes, of
Mhm.
course. Any other questions?
I don't have anything.
Okay, so yeah, dinner, you guys have like just regular pleasantries, and then
Iggsy's gonna ask Ryan's character. Oh my god, Ilrun, that's his name. He's gonna like nudge him. He's gonna be like, "Can you taste stuff?"
Last I checked, yes.
I just didn't know how it worked. I'm sorry.
No, for all intents
Just
and
curious.
purposes, I am living, although I do heal from the void.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Look, my experience with undead isn't that vast, so I gotta learn these things.
Okay.
He's not saying this loud enough for you guys. He doesn't want to sound mean to undead.
We're over here. We're just like high fiving, like bone high fives. Undead rule.
Rubbing calcium on
We're
your
just like
ribs.
playing with each other's ribs.
Yeah, undead.
So I guess during dinner, each of you is gonna get a chance to make a check to impress Ortagar. I guess for everyone that didn't really have any questions for him, you guys can give me a diplomacy check. John, since Knick-Knack was kind of asking about like the political climate here, you could give me a society check, if that's better.
No, I'll do diplomacy. Thank you.
I wish I got that off.
Yeah, you guys had. Well, we should talk to him.
I should have. Before I try to make an impression on him, like before Igzy will try to say something to please him, he's gonna slip out a quick tincture from his sleeve and he's gonna down something quickly. Hopefully no one notices. And I'm gonna take, what is it called? A silver tongue mutagen. I'm gonna quickly drink one of those. So really quickly, he just slips something from his sleeve and downs it.
If you want something stronger, we have stronger things here.
Oh no, I'm good. So that allows me to add a +1 to diplomacy, but
Okay,
now
and-
my intelligence checks are
And
a
everyone
lot
who
lower.
succeeded on doing that bleeding ritual, which you all did, will get an extra +1.
Oh, very
Hey.
nice. Cool. Yeah, but he'll take a shot of that before he tries to make an impression on this guy.
So what check are we making again?
John has the opportunity of doing society checks since he was asking about the political climate here, but everyone else just diplomacy.
Mathis got a 23.
Okay, so
Yeah, I'm a 19. Did you add
Okay.
your +1?
Yeah. That's okay.
13.
okay,
I got a 2.
okay, okay. So I will let you know what comes of that later.
You're like, Ortagar, check this out. You try to do a backflip and you break your neck.
Oh my god.
Yo, check this out.
Not
Dying.
impressed
breaks
I
his
had to
arm.
ask for a high
Breaks
chair
his
at the
arm,
table.
has to get rushed out on a stretcher.
As you
Knocks
guys,
over a glass.
Make sure to get
Christ.
everyone's attention first.
I tried to impress him by like cutting myself again. I just got blood all over.
Yo, check this. You accidentally cut way too deep.
I'm just trying to ignore it. It's just still kind of like splitting out every.
You're like, no, I'm
Fine,
good.
It's okay.
Put your sleeve back down. The blood's just like filling up.
Yeah, it'll stop in a second. Don't worry.
One of the servants slipped on it when they were walking.
Just a
the
tray of
worst.
drinks just goes shattering.
it's supposed to be a simple dinner party, and then it ended.
Oh, he made an impression.
Oh,
Was that me?
as dinner's wrapping up, Ortagar will kind of look to the acolytes that are in like the corners of the room. He'll like wave his hand, and they'll start clearing all the dishes and stuff. Ortagar, he'll close his eyes and he'll take his last bite. And he looks to be really enjoying it, and then he'll gently clean his mouth with his napkin, and then return the napkin and spoon to the table. He'll like methodically straighten everything and start clearing his throat, and then he'll slowly start massaging his temples, straightening the stitches on his head. And then he'll finally open his eyes and he'll say, I hope you enjoyed your food. Later, I must pay for the pleasure that this meal brought me. And then as he says that, you guys can see he glances at his spoon. Then he says, but for now, we have more important matters to discuss. I've recently learned of an apparent plot to introduce some strange substance, poisons perhaps, to Geb's food supply. This plot involved not just any remote farm where the food would undoubtedly be shipped overseas and be of no concern to me, but a farm that supplies the city of Greydirge itself, including this temple. As I'm aware, you all know of what I speak, of course, and I have a confession to make about why I brought you all here. Word of this plot did not reach me by way of our mutual acquaintance, the esteemed reanimator Mistress Berline Haldoli. No, I learned of this plot from a member of my own congregation. It is difficult for our worshippers to keep secrets from us. My acolytes are quite skilled, and it is easy to recognize when one of our own has grown accustomed to our ministrations and require extra attention to detail. One such congregant is a man named Dakramat.
You can't give us like a Paul.
One Paul. That's all I want is one Paul.
Dakramat, he is also a member of a Greydirge gang called the Bone Shards. We've long known Dakramat worked with the Bone Shards, but to be honest, it was of little concern to us. They are a pathetic group, little more than struggling ruffians, unworthy of our attention. Or so I assumed. It seems the group has a new leader, and this individual plots to poison Greydirge's food supply. Dakramat heard about this from his gang's new leader, but he wasn't in the inner circle, so he wasn't able to provide any details, even under shall we say, intense persuasion. Our modest congregation consists mostly of living people, and there are many others living across Grey Dirge. Mass poisoning is no trifling matter. When word of what happened at Old Urga's farm reached me, it was clear that there truly is a plot against Grey Dirge. Against its living residents, at least. I try to keep myself and Empty Threshold isolated from such schemes, and I'd appreciate external assistance with this investigation. And this is why I have brought you here to share what I know. The bone shards are somehow connected to what has happened and what may yet happen. And if no one acts, I fear that the living population of Grey Dirge could die. I can tell you where their hideout is. I ask you try not to kill all of them, as they may have more information about this plot, and we ought to know who's really involved.
Leaving them alive is not really our skill set. Do you have any iconography? No, sorry, the better question is, do the bone shards have any iconography that you're familiar with?
Yes, they're not. I from what I remember talking to Doc Ramot, I think their symbol is like a hand missing a pinky.
Interesting. Okay.
It's like red. It's like white thread on a red cloth. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That falls in line with what we saw at the farm.
Yes.
Oh, so you found that symbol there?
Yeah.
Hmm.
You know their hideout.
Yes, it's it's in the sewers. I can get one of my acolytes to take you there.
Thank you for this information. This is super helpful.
Yes.
This is definitely an issue that
Yes,
we
I
hope to resolve.
I figured you were the ones to search the farm. This is probably you're the best group to move this investigation further.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
stop it, you.
Your pure interest is just to protect your congregation.
My congregation and the living people of Grey Dirge. I don't know what they're trying to do, but most of the people here are innocent. They don't deserve death.
I mean, that's fair. Although poisoning is maybe a little bit of an overstatement.
Exaggeration,
Yes,
Yeah.
from talking with Berline, and I heard there was some strange substances applied, but
Yeah, we're a little bit confused about the intent behind them. How much have you discussed with Berlin? How much do you?
not a lot.
Mm.
We kind of briefly talked about it. Most of my information is from Doc Ramot, but he wasn't high enough in the gang to really know what was going on.
Mm-hmm. Do you still? Is Dr. Mott still with us?
Yes, but he is no longer in a position to speak.
Mm. It'd be good to know a little bit more about the structure of the bone shards. Might make it a little bit easier to disassemble the gang.
Right. I mean, yeah. That's why I think your best bet is to go to the hideout, and if you take one alive, we could interrogate him here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know of any local locations that some of the bone shards tend to hang around that we might be able to pick up a little extra information on?
Like aside
Yeah.
from the hideouts.
Any bars that they or
No,
taverns that
the
they
only one
frequent?
I know is this. It's this hideout. It's in the Undercity, kind of in the sewers. It's beneath the meat market neighborhood.
Mm. Okay.
I think we should check it out.
Yeah, I think so. But also, I mean, I understand that there's a moral benefit to this action, but I'm interested in.
Yeah, I've been trying to think about how to phrase it to him.
Yeah.
Without being an
No,
asshole.
I'll be direct. We work on contract and we're freelancers, yes, but
What the fuck did you just say to me?
we intend to be paid for our services.
Yes, I understand.
As well as being able to keep anything that we find on the scene. If they
Of course, anything you find is yours. I will have to see what we can pay you, but for now, one offer. You have time. I see you have some spellcasters amongst you. Perhaps some of my acolytes can teach you some Zonkathon spells.
Nico's
like we would get access to their
That
like a
sounds fun.
domain spell from them.
Yeah, I mean, it'll take time for them to teach you, but he offers to have his acolytes teach you some of their magic.
Where do I sign?
Right here, in blood, preferably.
Well, Rafala. Rafala, my dear.
Just stabbing her.
Time for more blood.
Time for more blood.
We'll eventually kill Rafala.
Soon, Rafala, I'll have my goat next to me.
I'm gonna ask the servers. Can I just have a little sip of your soul?
Oh my god, yeah, you should totally ask them.
No, I don't. I'm not trying to get on anyone's bad side here. I don't need any soul right
Well,
now.
they love
Just a
pain.
dinner party.
That's what I'm saying. These are the pain
This
guys.
is soul
Yeah,
pain.
but soul level pain. I don't know.
Are you guys? Do you guys have any other questions for him?
Can you guys think of anything else that would be worthwhile to ask before we get into this? Do you know anything about how large the gang is? I mean, you mentioned that it's not big enough
It's-
for the church to get involved. But
No, they're maybe like at most maybe a dozen members.
You said that what was the person who was like in the gang but not,
Docramite.
he's gonna take us there, right?
No, he is
he's fucked.
indisposed. I will have another acolyte. Lead you there.
And then in regards to this hideout, are we talking like a bar that they have made
No,
their own,
it's-
or is
it-
it actually some sort
It's
of
in the
Any type of
undercity, underneath
fortifications?
Great Dirt. It doesn't sound like Docramite didn't say anything about
a little
fortifications.
bit ramshackle?
Yes, I wouldn't be too worried. If you were
Okay.
able to handle the zombies at Berline's farm, I think you should be able to handle this gang.
Now, do you know
No.
in regards to the bone shards? Do you know how hostile they are to outsiders?
I can't say for sure, but if you're going to their hideout, I would expect them to be hostile if you're just showing up.
Mm-hmm. All right.
We might attempt to approach under the guise of friendship and
City
possibly-
inspectors.
Wait,
Hello,
wait,
we're here
we-
to do a
we
health
do-
inspection.
We do have
working hard or hardly working.
bodies
Mac.
with their emblem on it, so
Yeah.
we can, like, if we really wanted to, probably pose as them or as one of them with prisoners or something like
I think
that.
But if they're
those
too
bodies might
small-
be working on the farm as we speak.
Yeah. The other thing is also
But
if
they don't need that cloak.
if they're a fairly small group, they're gonna know
Yeah.
everybody,
Fair.
Yeah.
right? Like if it's 20 people, you know everybody that's on the team.
Yeah.
How many people did we encounter at the farm that we thought were them? 'Cause that'll be
well,
really,
he's a dozen after what you guys like.
After
You guys
what we
after
did,
yeah
okay.
at the whoever like
because it feels
to the
like
farm.
we maybe ran into about a dozen or so.
you.
Like
I think at the farm we into about like half a dozen.
yeah, so okay,
They were dead, but yeah.
that makes sense. Like if I'm thinking about the size of a gang, do you know if they have
They wear leather jackets and have motorcycles.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to stop. I feel like you don't know that much more about
I don't.
No.
Docramite didn't. Unfortunately, my source did not have much information.
Now your acolyte that will be leading us to the place, will they be joining us or
Rofella is not one
fair
for
enough.
combat, but
Rafella is the one that's joining us. Oh, okay.
Good to know.
I trust her.
yes, she will lead you there and then come back to the church.
we've shared blood together?
I've cut her before.
I think it goes without saying, Adam, I'm definitely going to pursue a lead on the gang.
Sure.
Mhm.
Do you guys have anything else? Because I have one more thing you guys may have forgot to ask.
Is there anything else you think would be important to mention?
Why would you ask us like us instead of Berlin?
Because I know you were the ones that originally went to the farm, and I feel like sometimes it's we just cut out the middleman and speak.
I can appreciate that.
Can I do
I feel like we should ask about the house, about
Hold-
what we found in
I was
the
gonna say
basement.
the body. I was gonna say bring that up.
hold
yeah.
on, hold on. Though I do want to do when he says like cut out the middleman, I do want to do a lie to me check.
Okay.
So it's like my deception. So 20 to just see like sense motive basically.
You get the sense he just sees it as like needless.
Oh,
like like it's just an unnecessary step.
it's busy
No, he
work.
doesn't
Yeah.
he doesn't want to get
Genuine.
political about it. Go
Yeah,
through
like,
proper
yeah, just-
channels. Like, hey, you guys already did it.
You guys did it
Mhm.
once. Let's continue to figure this out.
And did you? Sorry, you decided to contact us after you met with Berlin, or other?
I contacted you after we interrogated my acolyte Docramot, and
So Doc Ramat knew who we were. That's how you found out about us in particular. Because
I found out about you from Berlin, but
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
contact you until
just curious, sort of if our name is moving around.
Can you fill out the survey of how you heard about us?
yes. Yes. Well, all I can say is it's good to be owed a favor from the Bloodlord of Grey Dirge and the High Priest of Empty Threshold.
Would you like to ask?
Yes, we were recently handed over an estate, and upon investigation of it, we managed to find a body in the basement of a Zon-Cathon worshipper.
Really?
There was a
What's so funny about
Yes,
that?
yes.
Really?
Oh my
God.
Really?
Really?
He's on the edge of his seat. There was a what were they called? A skull fairy inside of him, and it burst out. And
Oh, pesky.
Nearly
pesky
killed
things.
me.
yes, we were
Yeah.
just wondering
Again.
if
It
you
licked its lips and everything.
knew anything about any
Yes.
worshippers that would be in.
there-
And then I described the house.
I had a priest that went missing about 2 years ago. His name was Mentagash.
Interesting.
Do you think? I mean, if he's a worshiper of Zon-Cathon, do you think the church can take the body back?
What
Do
did
you
we
guys
with
have
it?
any
Well,
opposition to
we
that?
never did anything with it.
never-
It's just sitting
I don't need
there.
a body.
I'm keeping the skull, but
I mean,
it
so,
came off the ferry, and we are mounting. We are
Oh,
mounting
the-
prizes at the house.
The skull off the ferry is one thing. It burst out of his skull, though.
Yeah,
No.
but that's how it got a skull. That's how the ferry
I
gets
thought
its skull.
it burst out of a hole in his skull.
It got like the fragment that it burst out
Oh.
of.
So it was a tiny creature
It's like a
wearing a
cubone.
medium-sized person's head.
No,
Yeah.
no, no, no. It the
No,
fragment of the skull
no.
it burst out of became the skull it's wearing.
So there's still the
formed it?
rest of the skull.
Yeah, that's the rest of the skull.
Oh,
okay.
Okay, that's what I was trying to say.
The other
Yeah.
question is, we found that obsidian's key. Do we want to
I
ask him or keep that to
I
ourselves?
don't want to talk about.
Was there
that.
anything on the body that we might help with the?
I also have a note
The
where
search?
I quoted "death in secrets," but I
Yeah,
have
it's
no
in
idea where that
parentheses
came
around
from.
Yeah, it's related to the key. Like the key
In what
says
way?
death and secrets
key
on it
says
or
that?
something. Or then we got a note or something that said like this is key, death and secrets.
Do we want to try to lie to him about how we've come across that phrase and see if the phrase rings any bells for him?
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe
like a crumbled piece of paper on his body.
maybe we
Yeah.
found a crumbled piece of paper.
A crumbled piece of paper with a picture of a key on it. It's like it's like
obsidian-looking key.
yeah, it's like what's
He's
it
like, "What
called?
does the key look like?" I turn around and take it out. It's kind of just don't show.
Do you remember
him,
like the
though.
second Pirates of the Caribbean movie where fucking he's walking around with a piece of parchment that has a drawing of a key on it? He's like, I have the key.
Yeah. Like that's pretty much what we're doing. Because
Mhm.
we could do that just to see if he knows any information about that. Because
Yeah, so we'll say like we found a crumbled piece of paper with the.
but wait, which one of us should do the lying?
Can I do it, please?
Yep. You have a -1 deception. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I actually have a pretty good deception.
We found also some documents on the body.
Really?
Oh my god.
That led us to believe that this priest was perhaps looking into a type of key. The words "death and secrets" was written several times, and there were several depictions of this sort of
That
stone key, obsidian key.
that means nothing. Do you perhaps have this key or like a picture of what it would look like, a drawing?
I don't think we have it on us, but our friend here, the Aldori duelist, is quite a illustrator. Yes.
Let me draw it.
Yeah.
And then I'll get out a notebook and start drawing.
Yeah,
what the
so
key
you
looks
draw it,
like.
and he's like, to me that looks like a key to one of the safety deposit boxes at the Grey Dirge Bank. I do-
Whoa!
Wow.
I don't-
Interesting.
We didn't know.
I don't.
Wait, what's this guy's name again?
you even
Hold on.
tried to spoon feed us that one.
Mhm.
No, I found the
No.
information.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you
That
found-
they're unclaimed deposit boxes. I think I know which one's unclaimed.
Oh, I didn't
now.
spoon feed it. He rolled the D6. It was
Yeah.
random.
Yeah.
I found this.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess yeah. And then
Yeah.
okay.
I don't know if we would have known to use an obsidian.
But yeah,
key
he's
for
like
any of
that's
those.
that's.
Depends when we
And you
get
said
there
my
what we
priest
see.
had the key on him, or was pursuing the. Key?
It seemed like he had some documents that said he was interested in it.
Well, I to be completely transparent, I don't know why one of my priests would be after a key that leads to the bank. But I mean, if you find this key, I guess you should try and get to the bank and find the whatever it opens.
Now, also, it may be worth mentioning the manor that we were in. It's called Qualog's Manor. Do you know a Qualog? Qualog the Collector?
No.
Okay.
Do you know an Argon the Annihilator? Was that what the guy's name, the hand's name was?
No.
Okay, let's just start going through all the names that
Do you
we've
know
heard so
Urga?
far.
Adam
Old
just winked
Urga?
at me. I don't know
I don't.
why.
I don't know Old Urga.
John, I half expected you to go, I must be completely transparent here. We actually do have the
We
key.
have the key.
I
I've
was
been
like,
lying. We have the key.
Yeah.
Yes, if
The
you
keys are
find
here.
the key, I guess the bank's your best lead.
Alright.
Uh,
I think we found a stop before we go.
Fair enough. Yeah, I
Yeah.
do. I think before we go investigate this hideout, I think it would be a good idea for us to stop at the bank.
Yeah.
so you guys are gonna head to the bank then?
I think
Oh.
that's.
All right, we'll see what that's like on the next episode.
All right.